Green bean casserole. Do you know how many households in America prepare this every Thanksgiving? Over 30 million. Crazy, right? Well, I wanted to make mine from scratch, modernizing it, getting rid of the faux fried onions, adding a sweet Madeira wine, and indulging in wild mushrooms. I'm taking this famous classic to a whole new level. Hey guys, I'm Shereen with Cook This. First, to get started, we need to prepare our onions. So this is the real deal. We're making and frying our own. You could use large shallots. Here, I found that just using small Spanish onions works great and it gives you the perfect size. So you want them thinly sliced. So I just want to get them all sliced together and then we're going to prepare them for the fryer. So to toss them, we have some all-purpose flour, paprika, cayenne, and then just a little bit of salt and pepper. You have to season your flour mixture. Get my heat cranking. So we want about a medium-high heat, and I have a neutral oil. I have canola oil. Now, we're just gonna toss all the onions into the flour. That's gonna evenly coat them so they can create a beautiful thin crust. So to ensure we don't have gloppy onions, I'm just gonna shake them out in a strainer so that way they're perfectly coated. So now we're just gonna work in batches. So it takes about 3 minutes. You don't wanna overcrowd the pan because it will reduce our temperature and then give us really soggy onion rings. All the onions are fried and out of the pan. I'm just gonna set them aside. We're gonna begin sauteing our mushrooms and build that beautiful sweet Madeira sauce. You want 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. So we're just gonna melt that. So I already went ahead and prepared my mushrooms. So here I have a combination. I have some shiitake, I have some cremini. You could also use oysters, chanterelles. Go for it. This is a fun time to use all those beautiful wild mushrooms you see in your farmer's market and grocery store. So just to prepare, I just saved a few to the side just to show you. Now, preparing your mushrooms, never submerge them in water. They are like little sponges. They'll absorb that water, and then the flavoring that you then saute it in, it won't pick it up because it's waterlogged. So you want to keep them nice and dry. Just wipe them clean with a damp cloth. For your shiitakes, remove the stems, discard them. You could use them in a vegetable stock. Today I'm just going to discard them, but any other stem, go for it, use them. Your creminis, they're beautiful, use that stem. So I sliced my shiitakes. Mushrooms like chanterelle and oyster and maitake, I actually like to tear them. You don't want them too small. Remember, when you saute with mushrooms, they do shrink and they pick up every flavor you saute them with. So starting with butter is so crucial in making a really delicious mushroom because it's going to absorb that milk solid and make a really delicious mushroom. So we just want these to be tender, about 6 to 8 minutes. While the mushrooms are sauteing, I'm just going to prep my garlic. So 2 cloves of garlic, and you don't want to add your garlic until about the last 30 seconds to a minute, that way it doesn't burn. So now I'm just going to add some thyme. Now deglaze with the Madeira, add the chicken stock and whole milk. Season with salt and pepper, bring to a gentle boil, then simmer. Our mushroom Madeira cream sauce is ready. So I went ahead, shortened a step for us, and blanched, shocked our green beans. So these are fresh green beans. I trimmed them and then cut them into bite-sized pieces. So they're pre-cooked. I only boiled them for about 3 minutes, but you definitely want to shock them in that ice cold water. That way it stops the cooking, preserves that beautiful color, and you can always do that step a day ahead. Now we're just going to fold in our cream sauce. and 1/3 of our fried onions. So this is going to build beautiful flavor while our green beans are cooking. And I have some Gruyere cheese. So from the residual heat of our sauce, it'll melt the cheese and evenly coat all the beans. So we have some of our fried onions. Just want to gently toss it. We don't want to break them. And then get it into a medium casserole. I have my oven heated at 375 degrees, and we're going to cook it until it's hot and bubbly, about 25 minutes. So the last 5 minutes, you just want to take the green beans out and then add the remaining onions. And I got to tell you, you might need to hire an armed guard to protect these onions while you're waiting for your green bean casserole. My family, especially my kiddos, constantly are sneaking by eating them. They're so delicious. Look at that. That looks beautiful. I'm going to pop it back into the oven for about 5 minutes. Look how beautiful. So we have made this from scratch, and I'm telling you, it's worth it. I'm going to go through and take a nice little concentrated bite. I have that cheese in there. It's nice and ooey gooey. Get some onions. Green beans are cooked perfectly. They're nice and tender. Those mushrooms are so flavorful. And of course the onions, I mean, come on. They're the star. For this recipe, go to the newspaper's website and visit me on Facebook and Twitter for more culinary tips. I'm Shereen with Cook This. Happy Thanksgiving. See you next week.